Welcome, welcome to all. Welcome to your meditation practice. I have to say that we are so excited to be here. And month after month, we look forward to having this time, this special moment to really share with all of you. Today, we have a few new faces and we are so excited. But as you know, our guide, our teacher, our coach is with us today, and that's Anisa. Welcome, Anisa, to your show or to your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very humble to be here and just share my experience with you and have also your sharing an experience. So it's a mutual learning. Thank you so much for this space. Thank you.
Thank you. And we also have with us today our global chair for global networking, who really came up with this space. She said we need to have this moment really where we can be together and really share this energy. And that is Mar Introini. Welcome, Mar.
Thank you. Thank you, Virginia. Lovely to be here.
I really love having you here. And then for the first time, and we celebrated, we have Shirley, and Shirley's with us from Hong Kong. Welcome, Shirley.
Hi, everybody. So glad to be here.
And we have Shreya. She's from India, and she is trying to join us today. So as soon as I have her, I will make sure that she gets with us here. But for now, she's having a bit of a challenge. And that takes me back to meditation. Many times when we want to meditate and we can't, or we don't have a master, or we don't have a coach, or we don't have somebody that will guide us, it could be challenging. It can be challenging because, it's not something that we're used to. The love and the life that we live in here now, it's always running. We're always trying to attain, to go after. And many times we need to have that moment with ourselves, but most importantly, amid chaos. Because sometimes we can look outside and we see so much happening that we need to bring calmness into our soul and into our mind. So the fact that we have a coach that will guide us in this practice meditation is incredible. And it's such a blessing. So Anisa, I would like to hand this over to you so we can start really talking about what this means for us and welcome everyone to your October meditation practice.
Thank you so much, Virginia. Thank you so much. I just want to really highlight that I'm a certified meditation teacher and I'm practicing meditation, and I do not consider myself master. I'm just like a teacher. So sharing really this experience with you, and this bring me joy to see that if someone comes and meditate with me, then send me a message and say, look, I started meditation regularly and it's affecting and impacting my life. So that's my purpose, really, to be here and to do what I'm doing. We were chatting on the backstage with Virginia and Maria, and then with Shelley, about different aspects of life and about life self, that it is not always positive events, like, right, it's life, it's called life, and it includes whatever come in it, right? Whatever event or whatever things that we experience, and it's a mix of things, right? It's like a surprise package, right, that you buy it, and there are loads of different things, and sometimes there are problems, issues, and worries and fears, and the events that surprise us, good or a little bit less good. And Virginia was sharing with us experience that she had recently. I really want to start with that, Virginia, if you like to share, because then we can continue in that direction, if you like.
Thank you so much. Well, a few weeks ago, I had an incredible opportunity to go to Spain and do St. James Way or El Camino de Santiago. I have to tell you and admit that I really didn't know what to expect because everybody had such huge expectations of what this entails that if you really pay attention to what everybody says, you may become very intimidated. You have to be in a certain physical shape. You have to go with a certain mental clarity. You have to bring your biggest sins or petitions. You have to go in penitence. There were so many things that people told me about the way that I just said, I'm just going to go with an open mind and I'm going to go with an open heart. And I couldn't help but really compare to when somebody's saying you should try to meditate, and then you read and you see so many things and you think, am I capable of meditating? Is this really for me? If I have this type of personality, or maybe some type of can I do this? So as I approached the el camino, the way, I have to say that I had no preconceived notions. I wanted to make sure that it was something very mine, and that I was going to embrace that opportunity that had presented to me. I was telling Anissa and sharing with all of them that one of our hardest days, because it's a path that you go through, and to me, what I brought back was a validation of life, because I would say that some days the sun was on your face and on your body 8 hours straight, no breaks, just the sun just on you all the time. And when you have the sun on you all the time, it could be very taxing on the body and very draining. But I knew that I needed to finish. It was part of a commitment that I made with me. On other days, and I would say probably the one that we really were looking forward to, because it was we were going to be walking up to the cross, the Iron Cross, and this is where people leave the biggest stones. And what they say with El Camino is that if you have a huge petition, bring a huge stone. If you have a big sin that you're asking absolution for, bring a big stone. So people come with their backpacks filled of different stones and rocks. And so we decided to do it. And that morning, it was raining, storm winds. The fog was so dense that you really could not see a ruler in front of you. I mean, like, it was 1 foot. And I looked at my sister and she said, do you think we should just wait today and not go? And, and I remember thinking life is not easy. And we don't stay home when things get hard. So I said, no, let's do it. If we see that we're not safe, then that's when we make a decision. So I have to say that was very hard. The wind was very challenging. The rain got in our face, inside our parkas, but we still did it. And when we arrived to that cross, there were so many people there. So I knew that I wasn't the only one who said, life goes on, even in the hard times, even during the fog, even with the storm rains, and heavy winds, you still pull through. And we walked probably like 4 more hours of this type of environment. And then little by little, we started to see the sun try to peek in. And we would say, oh my gosh, it's coming. And an hour later, that sun came out. And it was like nothing had ever happened. And I think that really validated so much of what life is for us. When we have that huge challenge that you really don't know what's going to happen, and you're just going and walking through faith and saying, other people have been through this and they are okay. I'm going to trust that and I'm going to continue walking. So it was just such an amazing experience to have these moments that you're like, wow, this is exactly what I've lived through. And to see it validated with nature and God, and it was, and sharing it with my sister and with other people that believed with me that walking this way was really important. So thank you, Anisa, for allowing me to share this moment.
That's absolutely beautiful, and there are so many different learning into that. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And what was really resonating to me also was the worries and fears that we have on a daily life. So as you mentioned, it's life itself. Problems are from one side that we face, but what really drain our energy, if you just take a moment and reflect, what I say also always, just reflect a moment and see if it is true for yourself or not. Worries and fears are draining our energy mostly. So what worries us, what really tired us, are the worries and fears. if it doesn't happen, if it happens. And if you go really to see what is the nature of worries and fears, it's believing that the negative things happen to us. So it's a belief, really, the first thing that I would like to highlight. There is a belief there that you're not enough good, or you deserve to be punished, that bad or negative things happen to you. And it's something that we forget about that. So one of the things that meditation can bring in this aspect, that bring you clarity and say, okay, I realize that it's there, it's coming. You're not real. That's a fear. Is it real? Or am I believing, if you're going to jump out of the airplane, I can understand. I have done it. I was like, oh my God. I had it for some moment before jumping, and it was kind of accepting a fear. I had that fear, and it was not negative system belief or anything. It was fear. I was like, oh my God, I'm just jumping. I'm talking about something that you say, okay, I'm not passing my exam, or no, that a person wouldn't like me, or no, I'm not fitting in this job, while you have all qualifications. So meditation can bring you again to see, I see you. I see you. Okay, your fear and worries. Are you true? Are you real? Shall I take time to be worried for you or not? Maybe if you do that, there are some conditions that you are, and all that's not always the case. So again, meditation can bring you there and see if it is real or not. And before getting there, the important part is to getting clarity on you are good and you're enough. And there is nothing want to punish you. Hello, Shreya. Just give a moment to her, to welcome her, if she can hear us.
Can you hear us? Well, we'll have her with us. I think that she still can't hear us, but it's good to have that you know that she's here.
I just want to ask you to share your experience and your thoughts, if it resonates also to you. If you look at some days and see, okay, what really mostly tired me, what are those? Is it something physical, or really it's also your case that you have worries, fears, or some critical, judgmental talk to yourself? They are also part of this worrying and fears that we have. Oh no, I'm not enough good maybe to finish that book, or no, who is gonna read my book? So the whole week or weekend you get so tired that you cannot get a step to start your book. I just want to give the moment to you to share as well what you think, what you have in your heart, and what's your experience.
Yes, I love the thank you, Anisa, for bringing that, and the story of Virginia and her experience in Spain is really amazing, no? And it's not a coincidence when she said this foggy road, and immediately it came to my mind what means global networking here in our group, because it's really a foggy road, because we gather women from different parts of the world without knowing each other, without knowing their personalities, their idea, their feelings, and many times trying to judge what others are thinking. And it's so important to keep that meditation attitude, that is to be open, to be what you don't understand, because the foggy don't let you see it. You continue walking, because the sun will be there. So in that moment, we need to be quite individualistic, to say this is myself. It's me who would generate fear to others. It's me who generate a negative attitude. So just trust. We trust and we continue. And this thing, when the people say this amazing group, well, this amazing group is because there are people, for example, Virginia or Julie or Anisa, that we don't know each other. We never, well, we met once with Virginia, present moment, yes, But we trust. And meditation is about trust. You keep your focus only when you trust on something higher, and you trust that you are doing the right thing, that is walking and moving forward. No, that is for me meditation, and I find really positive outputs. No, but I would like to listen also to Shirley, because Shirley is not exactly that idea that she holds about meditation, and that is the so lovely space to discuss and to share our experience. Meditation is much more than just one method or one mechanism, but just to gather the way that the people find their inner peace. So thank you, and in a couple of minutes I have to go, so I'm so sorry for that, but just I will be out.
We're so happy to have you. Thank you for
Thank you.
giving us some time. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Virginia.
Thank you for
It's a
sharing,
pleasure.
Maria.
Shirley, we can't hear you. You're
Oh, yes, yes.
there.
Thank you for the reminder. Do I get to respond to Virginia's story?
You can do anything. Yes.
I totally love the imagery that you painted when you're on this pilgrimage, right? And the sun or the fog or the rain, all these external things that we feel with our body, a lot of times if we internalize them, they really like speak to us on a spiritual level, right? Sometimes when we see a storm, like recently in Hong Kong, we had two huge storms. And when we see storms, most of us are being trained all through our lives to think, oh, that is some kind of a deterrent or
Right.
some kind of a punishment. Now we don't get to go out and play, or it is some kind of a wrath. But it's just part of the universe doing its thing. And it's just like us doing our thing. So I think when I interpret meditation, it's really every single moment that we go inward and talking to ourselves without any noises that we've been given throughout our lives. But going back to that moment of conception when we're in our mother's wombs, right? We just this very pure and singular little cell that is part of the universe, and we don't judge anything. Things are just things, and we are kind of like shielded from judgment and from hurt and from negative self-talk, and we just observe. So to me that's meditation. And so Anissa, my dear, what I have in my last couple of years experiencing in terms of meditation, some incredible transcendental moments, they were all guided meditations. Like whenever I have music, then I go into that state, right? And if I have maybe a joke, then I go into that state. But without them, if I were to just practice, like Ma was saying, a lot of times, masters talk about listening to your breath and toning out. That's when I have problem because I need that stimulation. So how can someone like myself, who suffer from, now this is a story I tell myself too, I know that, who suffer from ADHD, kind of quiet down? Because with some kind of stimulus, like a guided meditation or music, I can actually do well. But without, I'm like,
I'm so glad you said that because I was also diagnosed with ADD as a kid. But all my life, my mom just said it's your superpower. So whenever somebody would tell me, Virginia, you need to sit down, I would just say it's my superpower acting up. So I'm gonna tone it down a little bit. So I had a lot of really good reinforcement, but also how to be quiet. I remember my mom telling my teachers, if she's not looking at you and she's doing something, let her, she's listening. It was a way of my mom saying she knows she's learning. It's just her own way of learning. So they would put me in the back of the classroom. And I think that sometimes with meditation, we're trying so hard to be a certain way and a certain pose that, especially for people like us, that really distracts us from what we're trying to accomplish. So I'm so happy that there's somebody else that understands what I'm going through, and I think a lot of people in the world do too. But it's really great that we're bringing this up right now. So
Thank
Anissa,
you,
what do
both
we
of you.
do?
Thank you, both of you. Let me go to through the different things that I put it here. Um, so let's see first what Shelley shared, and then go back again to the process of how can we have more energy in life when the worries and fears come by meditation. So my question would be, if the guided meditation worked for you, so that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Uh,
Okay.
what would push you to do something else? There are different methods for different people. So if that one works for you, that's totally fine. What I would say, do not push you to do something that you're not feeling, because as you mentioned, meditation is when you come to your heart. And if you felt good with the guided meditation, that's totally fine.
Okay.
It's not about the striving or saying, "Oh, I have had success with other meditation." There is no success with meditation. It's about you and feeling good.
Right.
What
Okay.
can maybe help you is a mantra meditation as well, if you have never tried.
No, no. Show me, please.
Uh, we are gonna. It's a little bit more complicated to do it
Okay.
here. We have many different mantras for different situations. There are the short syllables. They have sometimes they do not have any significant, any meaning, so they call baji. And sometimes they
Okay.
have significant, like Gayatri mantra that you do for illumination, and you do. It's like a prayer. And sometimes they are dedicated mantras for the date, for example, of the bed and place of the bed, so they can
Oh,
really vibrate with your energy. And one of those is primordial sound mantra. So if you give your date of birth and location after the session, I can calculate it for you, and then we can have a session as a gift to you. We can have
wow.
it together.
Yay!
So you receive your personal mantra that is only for you,
Hmm.
and you can practice that to see if it resonates to. Ciao, Maria. Maria is leaving us. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. So we can try that as well. So I have the people who couldn't focus. Well, again, when I say focus, they were not content and serene with the other type of meditation, with breathing, etc. So I proposed to them the mantra meditation, and it worked perfectly for them, because they have something initially to quiet the mind, and then the mind is quiet. Of course, we do not want to empty the mind. Meditation is not for emptying the mind. Meditation is to have clarity and having restore our energy. So they could come to that stage with mantra meditation.
Yes.
Again, it's a gentle process. It's a kind and gentle process that we come to our heart, and we need to be comfortable. We do not want to push anything. That's my perspective. There are different methods and different philosophy as well that see it differently, but mine, from myself, it's that you come to your heart, and you get that tranquility and peace, and then you pray for something, or you let your heart open to receive really what your soul, or what your God or universe, whatever you believe to, can send to you, because we're receiving as well during the meditation, right? So we can try that as well.
Yes, I was just going to say that Karin writes and says the difference between starting the day with a meditation and not doing it is incredible. Thank you for sharing that, Karin.
Thank
And
you,
also, I
Karina.
have Shreya here. She says, agreed. With scientific and logical approach, spirituality as a foundation should be laid at a young age in school life. I have to say that if maybe I had known, when I was really starting out and I was first diagnosed, maybe it would have definitely helped me, and not feel as strange as I did many, many times. If all my other friends in school we were all doing the same thing, I probably would have felt a little bit more like everyone else. But I have to say that because of my diagnosis at the time, then like my mom said, it was a superpower. Then I felt that it was special, but initially it was a little hard to feel different.
That's very, that's yeah, I can see that that can hurt a child, right? And I believe meditation can bring a lot, to give that power to you as your mom gave it to your uniqueness, right? And I believe
Right.
even that painting was your meditation.
Exactly.
I do teach a meditative painting, and it doesn't have anything to with painting and techniques. It has really with peace of mind. Because again, there are some people that they cannot, because of the situation, whatever it is, they cannot sit, fix, and do today I don't want to say normal, but classic meditation. There is no normal. So that painting helped them to have peace, and that's incredible. That's really incredible. If we do meditation, they cannot sit for a moment. When we do painting, I see that they're gone. So that can be applied as well, surely. I just have my digital course out, so I will send that to you as well if you like to
Yeah.
try painting, meditative painting.
Well, I like to add to that, like Shreya was saying, teaching children really at a young age, laying a foundation, right, for them to see that there is this really awesome way of being that isn't really promoted elsewhere, right? Because I remember a few years ago when I was taking a group of young children, they were between the ages of 8 to 12, to, I think it was Norway, for an international tour, and we were in training for that. And so, because there were a lot of energy in the room and a lot of kind of attention deficit cases, so I remember starting to tell them that at the end of each session of practice, they have to spend 2 minutes closing their eyes and really walking through everything that they loved about how they did and what I told them to remember. And all I asked them to do was just to close their eyes and just go through all those things. And to my surprise, they all did that. And the room every single time was quiet. That was amazing. So I think in a way what you're saying is we musicians, right? I have heard many times that like when we play music is actually a meditative state that we go into. So I'm wondering, like people like myself, and that's why when I do meditation, it has to have some kind of music playing in the background. If I watch some kind of a comedy clip, is that considered something similar? Because what I want to do is just to quiet my, crazy mind down and just to feel good, right? So in a way, is that also a meditative thing?
That's a very interesting question. So I remember my master, when I started learning meditation, he used to start the classes with this statement, and he was like, "You are here for many different reasons. Some of you are here to bring peace in mind. Some of you in here because you want to feel joyful. You're looking for serenity. Some of you here because you want to find the right path, and some of you here because you want enlightenment. So what you would like to have from meditation, that's the status. If you like to bring peace in mind, that comedy maybe can help. And from the other side, maybe you're not receiving in that state because
Right.
you're receiving what the comedy is giving to you. Maybe it's joy as well that the comedy is giving to you. It's good to watch nice things, right? So you're receiving joy. Maybe that I say maybe because we don't know, right? Maybe Einstein or other genius people, they were in many different status, and they receive really, the revelation, and all what they invented, right? So maybe in that state, you're not open to receive something else that coming. So in the meditation, you're not focusing on a very specific things. You're just staying open, right? You can have a theme, of course. You can say, I'm meditating today to forgive, so help me to forgive, help me to clean. I'm meditating for healing, or I'm meditating to find my path. um, so maybe if you watch that comedy movie, you take the first one and second one and maybe the others. That's what I can share, really. I don't know if it answers to your question or not.
Okay. Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
Go ahead.
When I first started trying to meditate, I remember I told the person that I was doing this with, and they said, "You don't know it, but you've already been meditating. You may not know." And because I said that I love tea, and she said the ritual of tea, when you're preparing your tea and you're sitting to really enjoy that tea, that you find that moment with you. To believe it or not, that is the beginning of your, finding that meditative state and that you want to be with. And I was like, really? And she's like, yes. And she's like, and when you paint it, she said, when you used to paint when you were little or draw, that was also allowing you. So because I was like, so tell me, I need to know the secret to meditation. And she's like, you're already doing it. You need to relax and it's okay. But believe it or not, you probably already do it and you don't know. So I don't know if this helps you, but it was one of those nuggets that was given to me when I thought that a certain way it had to be done. And she's like, no, you're probably already doing it on your own without even knowing.
That's very true. That's very true. It really depends what is your intention. If you say, I'm meditating today for bringing peace of mind, sometimes I do 10 minutes meditation and then I paint for 1 hour, and that's meditation for me as well. You know, so I cannot say, oh no, I'm painting, I'm not meditating. That's inner meditation for me to see what is going on in my life, where I am standing, where I can work on it. So that's a meditation we can do in different, so different ways, right? Again, I believe it depends on allowing relaxation, what really allows us to relax. Because I remember again my master that was said the meditation is not for the um, how do you say grown up people. Be like a child. So stay also playful. Do not push
Yeah.
it so much. So that being playful and then smiling, you know, we use sometimes at the beginning. I was like, yeah, I'm meditating, and it was like, hey, relax, relax into that. It's like a being like a children, and then see what comes. So stay open and have the intention. Say to intention without expectation, of course.
Mm.
My intention today is to have really joy in my heart, and I'm open to receive it from wherever it comes. So that they are the important points that I like to share with you. I just have some things that I wrote from when Maria was talking, and again, if we can go back to the what is in our mind going on sometimes, and fears, worries, self-criticism, whatever. The one of very nice things that she mentioned, and I had it here as well, it's faith. Because, and you as well, Virginia, and Shirley as well, you mentioned that it's about faith. So if we have faith in something in universe, that we are protected, God or divine, whatever, it change a life. It changed a life. So you wouldn't go in that foggy way, Virginia, right? Or you wouldn't surely do all the initiative that you're doing, and I'm just observing from far. So that faith that something, protect us, that we are safe. Even the things happen that we do not like, we see it as a part of that. You mentioned that, Shelley, like a strong, or some nature, how do you say, this stuff that happening, rain or whatever. So we see it as a part of learning. We don't see it as a punishment if the faith is there. So that's a interesting point, I think, that maybe one day we talk about. And the other things was replacement. So if these worries or fears come, it's good to replace it, because our mind is creating 60,000, I think, or 80,000 thoughts per day, even if we are not aware of that. Hopefully we are not aware of that, otherwise we would go crazy. um, so we cannot say stop. We cannot think. We can replace them. So we can replace that empty part that we kind of cleans, with fears or whatever, self-criticism, with something that we wish, that something that is nice. And it's not, we're not talking about positive, toxic positivity. We are
Mm.
talking about something that really we feel it with our hearts. So if we have worries that something doesn't go well, we say, I have faith that I'm gonna be protected, or I'm gonna be safe, or I'm gonna be helped. So you can find that phrase that really help you or resonate to you, to tell it in the moments of difficulties. It can be even if you you have a prayer or it resonates to you, you can have it there prepared. I say just it's good to be prepared for some difficult days, and we can only prepare if we do it regularly. So we cannot just jump in that difficult days and say, okay, let me see what I should say today or what I have. So it's kind of prevention, right? And at the same time, it gives us more energy to go through everyday life. Anything that you want to share, Virginia or Shirley? Oh, we don't hear you. You have your microphone off, Virginia.
There. No, I completely agree. Um, I mean, the reason why we do these practices and we open it to everyone is because we know that everybody is living in a different state. You know, they're going through different phases and different experiences. And the fact that we can all really benefit from meditation in our own way, just like our life is completely independent and individual from each other. Our experience with meditation should be too, right? And many times we just want to be like everybody else, and we have to understand that we are unique and that the way it works with me, and if it's in the morning that I start, if it's in the afternoon or at night, there's some guidelines. But the truth is that with the life that we lead, we need to know where we're going to really enjoy and really benefit the most from having this time, for ourselves. So, I mean, life can be chaotic, but like we said before, we don't have to bring that into our meditation. It's our time to be calm even when everything else is moving a million miles a minute. So
Thank you for mentioning that. That's totally true and very important to be kind to ourselves and mind our uniqueness. That's very true.
And if I can share one thing that totally saved me, back in 2014, I think it was, when I began my real fundamental spiritual journey or recovery. Like I lost my spirituality and then I found it again. I started just doing something very simple, and probably it is some kind of a meditative state. I just say, okay, I count all the things that I liked about the day, and I thank this and I thank that. I even thank my organs every night. I thank my hair, I thank
right.
my skin, I thank my eyes, I thank my brain, and uh, and then I would just make sure I have a smile, and then I close my eyes and I go to bed. And I think counting back all these years up to this moment, I've only failed to do that maybe within 10 times. And then I would catch myself, hey, you didn't do that, you can't go to sleep yet. And then I go back to that state. And that's usually at the end of the day, I have a really easy time doing that. Is when I wake up in the morning, that is when it's a little hard. Because, if I try to meditate, because I'm trying to learn from masters, right? Oh, you start the day with meditation, then I fall back asleep again. So that's the part I want to learn. How can I actually incorporate that at the beginning of the day? You know?
So when you do meditation, you feel asleep
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
every time, always.
Uh, mm, if I am listening to a guided meditation, no. But if I try to do
Okay.
it on my own, it's like, whoa, I just stray and then I go pick. I go
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, for example, if you, I'm just trying to understand because sometimes your body can be tired.
Oh
So
yeah.
when you meditate, you start to relax, and that's a very natural reaction of the body that you go to the state of sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing that needs to be checked. I
That's
believe
true.
so.
That's true. I'm always very tired in the morning.
So you can check that, and it's a quite natural, really state
Okay.
that you go to relaxation. Even if you go there and you continue kind of your breathing or whatever you're listening to. So let your body be relaxed, and maybe if you want them to meditate and kind of to keep the status of meditation and receiving, you're receiving, of course, when you're relaxing as well, you're subconscious, right?
Right.
um, However, if you like to sit down, then see when you're less tired and try it again and see if it happens. So that's the first things that comes to my mind.
Okay.
Mm. And just let me know so
Mm-hmm.
we can find out what can works for you.
Okay, cool.
Shall we go for a short meditation? You're tired, Shirley, or not? No,
I'm always tired, so it's
I
okay.
was tired, but that's late as well. So it's like 9:30, 10 in Hong Kong. So that's your time to go to bed as well. Okay, let's do a very short meditation. And I really like what you shared, Shirley. I do many meditation with gratefulness, thankfulness, because when you bring it to your heart, you feel openness and relax, and kind of you're making a space. So yeah, you're meditating since 2020, 14, or even before with what you share. And that's a very effective meditation, actually. So thank you for reminding me and sharing. So let's start our practice. Just take a moment to arrive, and you can do this short meditation on a chair, or you can sit on the floor comfortably, wherever that resonates to you today. It's important that you make your body comfortable so you can relax into this position. And if you feel ready, you can slowly close your eyes and bring your focus inward. And I invite you to breathe in slowly and deeper than usual, just with your rhythm. Breathing in, and I'm breathing out. Breathing in, and I'm breathing out. A little bit slower and deeper than usual. I invite you to just investigate how you're feeling in this moment, what you're keeping in your heart, what are your thoughts. Just notice them as an observer while you're just breathing in and breathing out. And also scan your body if there is any tension or pain anywhere. While you're breathing in and breathing out with your rhythm. And I would like to invite you to bring one hand or both of your hands to your heart. And then get connected with your heart. Just notice how your chest is moving up and down when you are breathing. slower and deeper than usual. And also your belly moving in and moving out. And I would like to invite you to relax your body, your face, muscle of your shoulder, your back, your sitting bone into this position. You're breathing in and out a little bit slower and deeper than usual. And you're softening in this position. And I would like to invite you to bring gratefulness in your heart. You can think of an event or a person or something that you're really grateful for. So you can really smell, taste, and re-experience that moment, that state of being grateful. You might feel that your heart is warm. You feel also love in your heart. Your body is completely relaxed. And if sometimes your thought comes, notice them gently, with no resistance. And bring again your focus gently to your heart. I would like to propose you some phrases that you can loudly or silently repeat for yourself today. Or you can choose something that really resonates to you or you need. My heart is filled with love. I am loved. I am safe. I am protected. I'm a being of light. My heart is filled with love, unconditional love. I am loved. I am safe. I am protected. I'm a being of light. And I attract what is good for me in life to myself. You can repeat the phrase that resonates to you in this moment while you are breathing a little bit slower and deeper than usual. And I invite you really to taste, to smell, and to feel that phrase. My heart is filled with love. I am loved. I am safe. I am protected. I'm a being of light. I attract good things and I give good things to others. And you can stay for some moment with your phrase, whatever that resonates to you today. If there is any part of your body that you feel tension or pain, you may like to put your hands there and just give us support, give us physical support to that part of your body. Or maybe you would like to give yourself a hug while you're repeating your phrase. I'm safe. I'm protected. I'm loved. I'm a being of light. I attract good things and I give good things to others. And when you feel ready, you can, of course, continue to meditate if you like. And if you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes and come back. And you may like to stretch yourself a little bit and come back to your normal breath. So thank you so much for being there and practicing.
Thank you so much, Anisa. Thank you, Shirley. I think what a miracle it is that we can have somebody in Switzerland, somebody in Hong Kong, and somebody in Puerto Rico, and at the same time be so united, and really become one at this particular moment. Sometimes we think that technology is cold, and I have to say that no, that technology, when we use it to communicate, to unite, it is really, really a blessing. And I feel very, very, very happy today that I've been able to connect with you and Matt earlier today, and even Shrija when she tried to connect from India. Next time we will definitely have her here. But it is a beautiful thing when we can all meditate together.
Yes, I agree totally. It's a different experience altogether. And I feel the love. And Lisa, your voice and your energy. It's just, it's like perfume.
Yes. You're marvelous. Truly, truly, truly. We all have such unique talents, right? And you never know what one of my talents will impact, how it'll impact you. And definitely, Anissa, you just bring such peace to us. And whatever's going on in your life, we don't really know because we see that peace. But we know you're human, so we send you a big hug with lots of love. And whatever it is that any of us that is here with us today going through, just know you have to continue walking in that fog because there is a sun at the end. You will see sun and it will come out. Sometimes it may not feel like it will, but it will. So I don't know if you both want to add something before we leave.
Just thank you both. Thank you, Virginia, for keeping this space. I think one of your talents is keeping this space so brightly and shiny and beautifully. And Shayla, thank you so much for being there. And thank you so much for your kind words. I'm very happy. And like you have done, Virginia, I'm just sending my prayers, my love wishes and heart wishes to everyone who is going through difficult times. And I wish healing and all good things for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Shirley, for being with us today.
Thank you. I hope to get to know you better as we cooperate more in the future. And I just got a download, by the way, Anissa. Thank you so much. It has to do with my sleep. So I got a download just now during our little session of meditation.
Amazing. I'm so happy
Beautiful.
for that. I'm so happy to hear that. So happy. That makes me very happy.
Awesome.
Thank
That
you
is
so much.
beautiful. Well,
Thank
thank you
you,
both.
Rina. Thank
Thank
you.
everybody who has been with us in this time. And remember, every month we will take some time to really practice meditation anyway, but we want to invite you to really explore what feels best for you. But this is your time, and make sure that you use it well, but you feel connected with who you are. Thank you all. Bye bye.
Thank you
Okay,
so
until
much.
next
Have a
time.
nice
Take care.
day.
Bye bye.